What I love about this is that often we think, well, people need legal help only if they're doing something wrong or they're doing something bad. But the reality of it is that bad things happen to good people all the time. And what we're doing is helping people in these uncertain times, and sometimes that requires preparation. So what I love about what we're doing is helping people with everyday problems. And it could be as simple as you buying something online, or situations where one of my friend's kids was being bullied online and they tried talking to the parents and asking them to take the post down. The parents didn't do anything, and so they needed legal advice on how to go about making sure that their kids were going to be okay and be safe. Or if you've ever said, I need to speak to your supervisor. I had a situation where my car warranty wasn't being honored by the mechanic, and all of a sudden I'm like, you know what, let me just have my lawyer get involved. And so that's what the power of our app does, is that we are making it so that you're able to get legal help. And that's just with a click of a button on our mobile app, where you can download it and get our lawyers to help you in these situations. And so I love that type of access. Now, the beauty of our mobile app is that there are so many different ways that you often will need help with a lawyer. The first is preventative, and that's making sure that before bad things happen, you're getting legal advice. Now, I used to Google to get legal advice. I'd ask my mom, I'd ask my husband. What I love about this is that you can actually call one of our lawyers who has more than 22 years of experience and just say, you know what, I need advice on. Or if you have a contract or document and you need that reviewed, a lot of times we sign things, we don't even know what it says, but being able to have our law firm take a look at it and give us advice on what to say, and then letters and phone calls on our behalf, that's huge. The other thing that we often need help with when it comes to legal help is life events. I think it's powerful to be able to have our law firms take a look at and do our will. I think about the fact that, I've got 3 little ones, and I remember when my daughter was born that her name wasn't even in the will, and she was 4 years old. And so being able to just tap and ask for our law firms to do the will, the living will, the healthcare power of attorney, the financial power of attorney was a lifesaver for us. We also help with traffic ticket assistance. And I know that some of us have teenage drivers, or maybe we drive like teenagers, and our law firms are there to be able to have a look at the ticket, be able to give you advice on what to do, sometimes even represent you in court. We also do civil trial defense, and it's never fun to be named in a civil lawsuit, and being able to make sure that our attorneys are there to help you pre-trial, but also during the trial. We also help with tax audit assistance, and I think about when I was first thinking about starting a business, I remember being audited and not knowing what I did wrong, what I filed wrong, but having our attorneys there to walk us through that and help is huge. Our attorneys are also to help 24/7 for emergency protection. And I think about often, there are things that happen after hours. Maybe you're pulled over by the police, or you have a situation where you need that support, and that's one of the things that we're able to do. Not to mention that we do family and domestic services, and there is a 90-day waiting period for things like uncontested divorce, adoption, and name change. And so this is huge because we're able to do that for less than $1 a day. And I think about if I were to hire an attorney, or even if I were to ask you, how much would you charge for me to be my attorney? Chances are you would say it's hundreds of dollars. But because we're able to have partner law firms, and we have lawyers that have all types of different backgrounds, we're able to really provide the very best service at just about $1 a day. And so this is huge. Now, who's covered? We cover you, the member, but we also cover your spouse, your domestic partner, any children living in the home that are under the age of 26 or never married or in college, as well as any dependent children who are under the age of 18, and any physically and mentally disabled children that are living at home. Now, the other thing that we do that I love is identity theft protection. Now, we do this similarly where we have a mobile app, and on that mobile app, we do monitoring and alerts, and that's huge because the #1 fastest growing crime right now is cyber crimes. And so being able to have someone who can monitor your social media accounts, the dark web, and a lot of times we think the dark web is just something you see on TV, but it exists, and people are exchanging information and passwords and things. And so our services are helping you to protect against that. Not to mention that we do privacy and reputation management. And I love that you're able to have our services support you with this, because people are always searching you online, and you want to have the very best reputation possible.